Oops. All right. I think we're live. Not sure.
We're live.
Oh, we're probably live. I gotta move stuff around to make sure. All right. Yes, we are. Welcome to another episode of the Option Genius Show. Today we have Matt Dembrosi and myself, Alan Sama. We are with Option Genius, where we trade people how to trade options. And full disclosure, we are not giving anybody individual personal investment advice. Um, Talk to your financial planner or financial expert before you do anything. And trading can lose money, as we are seeing lately in the markets. Trading can lose money. You can't lose money trading, and so don't trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Um, and what are the other disclaimers? Yeah, this is all educational and entertainment only.
Entertainment. I was make sure you said that word.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
And it's like, don't listen to us. Don't do anything we're doing. Just, yeah. Uh, Connor says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Connor? Happy Friday to you." Oh, no, Wednesday?
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no, no, not Friday yet.
I'm totally lost. Happy Wednesday to you, Connor. Yeah. And so I wish we had better news today, but title of today's show is that December rate cut not happening. Oh no, say it ain't so. But yeah, that's that was the thesis going forward. That was my idea of, hey, markets are going to go higher to the end of the year because we're going to have another rate cut in December. Um, right now, it looks like we will not be, and we're going to get into that. We also have Nvidia earnings coming out after the bell today, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. Something surprising I just noticed. And then, markets today are kind of flat. The SPX is up 17 points, which is 0.25. The Rut's flat. Dollar is up 0.5%. NASDAQ up 0.23%. Dow Jones is flat. Gold is up 0.3%. VIX is at 23 and a half. So it's a bit elevated, even though it's down today. Um, the oil VIX, the OVX, is actually up 6% today at 35. So that's something to keep an eye on because that thing has been itching higher for those of us who trade oil. And Bitcoin is under 90,000. So the route in Bitcoin continues. And I believe, Matt, you were the one that said October is really good for Bitcoin.
Hey.
Not this time.
Well,
Sorry.
no, I have different thoughts on why it's going down right now, and we can get into that for sure.
All right, go for it. What's your
All right.
thoughts?
Well, I think of Bitcoin as this is my view, right? I think it's the only really true market. I think that um, it's open 24/7, right? And I think that when people get scared and they are frightened, like we see right now in the markets, people will sell the first thing that they can, that they have. And I think Bitcoin people that are holders of Bitcoin are going to sell Bitcoin and get out of the market first. I think that's what that they will do. So I think Bitcoin is kind of an early sign of what's going on, kind of an alarm, right? That screams, "Hey, there's a liquidity problem, and that's what happens with a lot of fear out there." So that's kind of how I think about Bitcoin. So I'm not surprised by it. I think that like anything, it will find a footing, and it will rally up from there eventually after all the fear subsides, which it will at some point.
At some point.
Yeah.
But there was one of the technicians, Carter Worth, was mentioning that Bitcoin is currently, and this was a couple of days ago, sitting on a 10-year trend line, meaning that if you go back to a 10-year chart, you could draw an uptrending line where it has bounced multiple times before, and it was sitting there on that trend line. So he was like, go buy Bitcoin, it's going up from here. But since then, it has now dipped below that trend line. So all bets are off how far it goes down if it keeps going down. Now, again, that you don't know exactly how thick that trend line is. If you
Right.
draw it with a pencil, it's a lot different than if you draw it with a crayon because it's wider. So You could say, hey, maybe it'll dip below and then there's a fake breakout and then it'll come back up, maybe. But if it hits to, like 85,000, I think that trend line is definitely broken. So uh, we'll see how it goes. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I don't know. Bitcoin is, I think it's still worthless. Like it's like I don't see the
Well, that
purpose.
then yeah, then you
I
should
still
be in
don't
it.
see the I still don't see the purpose. I think it's something, hey, I could put money into this and it's going higher. And as long as it's going higher, then I think it's good. But at one point it was the thing for youngsters, right? It's like, hey, I'm young and it's going up and I can double, triple my money in a week or 2 weeks or something. That's not possible anymore. It's not going to double from 100,000 in 2 months or whatever. Um,
No, it won't. But if you are a long-term person,
mhm.
then that's what you do. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it is an asset, it's an emerging asset. It's certainly not going away. So I don't think it's going to zero, because you have institutions grabbing into it. But if
They
you
they
are,
can get out just as quick as they got
well,
in.
yeah, but I mean, it is being adopted, right? And if you are, which we all know, it's becoming more adopted every day, month, year.
I see Ethereum being
And
adopted. I don't see Bitcoin as much, like
well,
Ethereum is being
Ethereum doesn't
used.
have a cap though.
No, there's no cap.
Yeah, Bitcoin's the only one with a cap, so I could see a little bit more
Yeah. Yeah.
value to me personally to Bitcoin.
Yeah. I mean, I do see like, the stable coins and whatnot, and they're, most of them run on Ethereum. Some of the banks are moving over to the Ethereum network. So I see
Mhm.
some adoption of that network, but I don't know, who knows? People have been saying this since, it was created, but here we are. It's at still 90,000, which is a lot, and I still have not sold any of mine. Um, Even though I see it going down every day, but that's like, okay.
Even though you believe
Like
it will go to, you can believe it will go to zero.
I don't know. It's I put money in, and if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But um,
And that's smart, right? If you
it
have a
look
little bit of it, of your portfolio that you put towards it,
yeah.
sure.
I mean, it looks like like you said, there is people that have bought it. People are holding it, um, and so will it go to zero? Maybe. Maybe I'll get out when it gets cut in half. I don't know. But
Maybe
we'll
you'll
see what
buy more
happens.
at that lower price.
Maybe. Michael says here, the gold has held 4,000 despite the interest rate outlook. Yep, that has, pretty. Where's gold right now? Gold is at 4,078. So it's very close. It's been bouncing around 4,000. Um, and the fundamental picture for gold has not changed. Central banks are still buying gold, and the US is still supposedly the largest holder of gold, but the Indias, Russias, Chinas, Brazils are buying more and more. But I do think that, if you look at a gold chart, it kind of jumped up and then it kind of sold off. And I think that was not the central banks. I think that was just Wall Street. And eventually there was a blow off top, and now it's going to go sideways for now. Until the central banks start buying more in bulk again. So hopefully it holds at 4,000. Um, but we'll see if, there's no rate hike on the horizon. There is like, are we going to cut or no cut? There's not going to go up in rates. And so I think gold for
And how
now,
much are we going to cut, right? Is it a quarter point? Is it more? Um,
yeah.
that's the question.
So, so we mentioned earlier that Nvidia is in the news because their earnings is coming out. Um, but what I mentioned earlier and what I noticed today was I wanted to see, like, okay, you know, we've been talking about NVIDIA for at least a couple of years, a year at least, or more, with the AI story and the AI build up. And NVIDIA is the biggest player on the street. They are the ones that provide most of the chips. And their CEO is all over the place, investing in all these other companies and having all the other companies investing in each other. And it's just a big spider web kind of thing. So I was like, okay, hey, I want to take a look at the chart and I want to see. I want to see history. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, Nvidia earnings is coming out. It's going to dictate the market. And I was talking to my wife this about morning, and she's like, I was like, oh yeah, this earnings coming out, and if they have bad news, the market's going to go down, and if they have good news, the market might go up. And we've been talking about this. Everybody says the same thing. But then I looked at past earnings. Okay, so we looked at the last earnings was on 8/27, and they actually beat earnings, and the stock was down like 1% the next day.
Hmm.
Two earnings ago was 5/28. They actually underperformed. So the estimate was 82 cents a share. They made 81 cents a share, and the stock went up about 2%. The time before that was what's the date here? February 26th. They beat earnings by a lot. Stock was down next day by 3 or 4%, and then for about a week continued to go down on a beat. So, what does that tell us? Absolutely nothing. So you look at the history, and I can go back one more. So last year, 11/20, they had earnings, and they actually beat again by 11 cents, and the stock did absolutely nothing. So, based on these four data points, I'm going to go on a limb and say tomorrow the stock will be either up or down 2% or less. Not a big deal because today it's up 2%.
It's kind of sad that the whole market is responding or putting their hopes on NVIDIA.
And
I
then
mean,
nothing
it's just,
happens.
right, but it's just crazy out there. The narrative of like, okay, this company is the what $4 trillion company now?
Mm,
Four?
I think it's
Yeah,
five.
four. Five now.
I think it was five. Yeah.
It's certainly four, but maybe five. Um, but the whole market is relying on this, right? So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of it's definitely going to be interesting when the news comes out at 4 p.m., I think,
Yeah.
for sure.
So it'll be the news, and then it'll also be the comments, right? What does he say? And as the biggest cheerleader of AI, I don't think he's going to say anything bad. So even if they have bad earnings, even if they miss, he's still going to be like, "Well, we got this coming in, we got this coming in, we got this coming in." And he's going to hype it up. That's he's a really good actor. Like I don't know if he's acting, but he's a
Sure.
really good performer. So um,
Or does he
I
make any comments around CapEx, right? Like all these companies that are so involved um, with AI as far as, you know,
mhm,
data centers and whatnot. I mean,
right.
I wonder
Well,
if he's going to talk about that, right?
yeah, I'm sure he will.
Sure.
Like you have Microsoft, you have Google, you have Facebook. All of them have sold billions in bonds to raise money to spend more and more money.
Yeah.
So, and they're not the only ones. But the bonds are being sold. People are taking them up. Some of them are very long. Like I think the Facebook bonds were 50-year bonds. Now, can you imagine making an investment in a company that's not going to mature for 50 years?
Will they be around for
Exactly.
30?
Like, what's
Right, look
this?
back at history. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't think so, but the lifespan is really around 30 years
Yeah,
for
it's
companies.
not Coca-Cola, It's like they
Oh,
don't have a history of being around for a long time. And it's not even like something that people need every day, right? It's like a social media app. Like, give me a break.
yeah.
They could be
I think
replaced tomorrow and nobody would care.
Meta has what the most capex, I think, of all of them.
Right now, yes, they're going
Yeah.
nuts. And that's why the stock is in the toilet because everybody was like, "No, you're crazy."
And
Um,
investors are like, oh, whoa.
uh-huh. Yeah,
You know,
people have been bailing. And I think eventually they'll have, one bad quarter, and then hopefully if they have good earnings, it might come out. But this happened with them with Facebook before, because Zuckerberg came out and like, oh, we're gonna spend all this money on the metaverse, and everybody's like, what the hell is a metaverse? Like, show us where, and the stock just went down, 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 down. Then finally they're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna be more disciplined. We're gonna have more discipline, and then the stock started going back up again because they stopped dumping all that money into the ether. nonsense.
Yeah, what
Uh,
happened to all that? The headphone, the glasses, and it's kind of been like a non-story, really.
yeah. I mean, my kids have it. We bought one.
Yeah, you
And
did, yeah, at the time, right?
they're just sitting there and gathering dust. It's like they don't
Uh,
even
that
bother
should that
anymore.
should be the signal right there. Your kids leave it to the side and they don't, use it. That's like, uh-oh.
Yep. Because I remember when they first came out, like I had somebody actually sent me a free pair. And they're like, oh, hey, we're doing this training, we're doing this seminar, blah, blah, blah. And it's all going to be on the metaverse and it's going to be inside the metaverse. So come. And this was a company looking for investing, right? Investors. Like they wanted mm, people to come in and give money. So they had to show their chops. So we're sitting there. First, you had to call this person on Zoom to make sure that you got your thing and it's all configured properly and you know what website to go to. And that took like 45 minutes to figure out. Then we finally get to the thing, right? And there's like 50 people in this little room, and it's like we're on an island, and you can see water all around, and we're in like in a little house, and there's a pool, and there's these boards on the wall, and so there's somebody talking, and the slideshow's going off. And I'm like walking around because I've never done this before. I'm walking around, I'm jumping in the pool, I'm trying to go into the water, I'm trying to go off the island. I'm not paying attention to what the hell they're talking about.
Can you communicate with other people? Or you just
Yeah, yeah, you
kind
could
of
talk.
in your own?
You could talk, yeah. So
And you
you
next
you
time be like, get out of the pool.
so yeah, it was nuts. But I never, I guess it was cool for a while, but it never really took off. But anyway, so yeah, so NVIDIA I think is going to be a non-event. That's my opinion. That's my goal. That's my prediction for tomorrow. So it doesn't matter up or down. I think it's going to be a non-event. Now, if it's really bad, then yes, there might be something, but I don't see it being really bad.
Yeah,
Uh,
the longer story is the rate cuts behind all this, right?
mhm.
So, I think the news will be a catalyst. If it's like you said, if it's really bad, yeah, the market will continue to go bad. Um, if it's a non-event, which I think it will be, I agree with you here, that it will probably be nothing. Because I think he's going to talk very good about NVIDIA, which we all know. And I think he'll give good guidance. And we'll see, right? So,
Yep.
but I don't expect like a huge update.
No, no, I don't think so. No. And so I guess the risk is to the downside.
For sure. For sure.
But now let's turn our attention to the rate cut in December. Now the you said that there is some numbers coming out tomorrow,
Yep. So we have non-farm payroll, right?
non-farm payroll coming out tomorrow, but that is for September, right? Bureau of Labor Statistics today said that they're not going to have the report for October. They're going to do October and they're going to do November together. But they are going to release it. Before they said they were going to release it on December the 5th, which is before the Fed meeting on the 10th. But now they're saying that they're going to have to release it on December 16th, which is after the Fed meeting. So from now to Fed meeting, the Fed will have basically no up-to-date recent information on jobs.
So it lends them to be like, okay, we're gonna do a small cut, maybe, or pause.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to what Powell said in the last presentation he did when after the meeting, where he was basically, hey, when you're driving in the rain and it's raining and you can't see, you don't go fast, right? You kind of pull over. And so that's what he was kind of hinting towards. Like, if we don't have the data, it doesn't make sense to do anything. We're just going to stand pat.
Yeah.
Now, they have another meeting in January. So once the data starts coming in, they can easily say, okay, we're going to decide in January. Um, so that was what Powell said. Then you take a look at what some of the other guys are saying, the other Fed governors who are voting, not voting. And in the minutes, it came out that they're pretty much divided, half and half. So the Fed meeting minutes came out just a little while ago, when we
It
started the
was.
show. And they're divided. They're half and half, pretty much. So there's no consensus. And Powell really likes to have consensus. He likes everybody voting in the same block. You know, last time, out of I think 9 votes or something, there were two that one that didn't want to raise, right? One guy wanted to raise 50 or wanted to cut 50, and the other person said, no, I don't think we should cut it all. So there were 2 out of 9. This time it's more like 5 and 4
Yeah.
going back and forth. And so there is a tool called FedWatch by the CME, that kind of predicts, is there going to be, prediction markets, whatnot. And right now, as of today, there's a 63% chance that the Fed is going to stay steady and not cut in December. So
Just way
it
down,
it was way
right?
down. Yes, before it was like about 80% chance that they will cut. Then after the last meeting, it kind of went to 50-50. They're going to cut or not cut. And now it's on the opposite end where 68 no cut, or 63, sorry, 63 no cut. And then after the minutes today, it might change even further. So again, to me, in my mind, the biggest thing is they're not getting the data. So they're not going to want to make a decision one way or the other because they're not going to try to make a mistake. Um, and so I feel
There's
that,
there's a little danger here, right? We continue to start getting, you kind of feel it.
yeah. So you feel, so it's like, okay, if there's no rate cut in December, possibly we could get one in January. Because even though there's no data, there is still data,
Hmm.
right? Target came out, bad earnings. People are not shopping. Home Depot came out, bad earnings. People are not shopping. McDonald's came out, said, hey, poor people are not coming to McDonald's anymore. It's only rich people go to McDonald's. It's like, what? It's like,
Look,
hello.
McDonald's, okay. I won't get off topic. But no, I went to McDonald's a couple days ago. Just a couple of sandwiches, right? No fries with it, no Coke. 16 bucks, 17
No,
bucks
what?
for Egg McMuffin. Three Egg McMuffins. 3 Egg McMuffins. No Coke, no hash browns, just 3 Egg McMuffins. So I pull up, guy says 16 something. I'm like, did the double take. I'm like, can that be right? So I pull up to the window and he's like 1607 or whatever. And I'm like, God, man. So yeah, McDonald's used to think of that. Those numbers are real, right?
Is that maybe? Oh man, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hello, welcome. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I did a I looked at the receipt, I'm like 1607 for 3 Egg McMuffins, right? So this is real. This is happening, right? So, you
Yeah.
know,
And then,
yeah.
the SNAP are back, the food stamps are back, but now you have to apply for them all over again. So I don't know how long that actually takes. So it's like, there's a family that legitimately needs the money for the food,
Right.
and
How long can they hold out?
they're sitting through the bureaucracy. It's going to take a week, 2 weeks, a month. Who knows how long that takes? Um, I can show you it's not instant. Where it's
Sure.
like, oh, here, you're approved. Your money's on your card. There you go.
3 to
No.
6 weeks for processing. What a mess.
It's pretty
Indeed.
bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad out there. So people are definitely pulling back. But everything is not bad, right? Eli Lilly,
Oh, it is.
all time highs. J&J, Johnson Johnson hitting all time highs. Tech, or not tech, but the medical sector is doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, I think
So,
the other I looked the other day, it was just companies like Eli Lilly were up, right? It was just those.
hmm yep. Eli
There
Lilly's
are
been
pockets, sure.
Eli Lilly's been jumping up every day. Since we talked about it, even before we talked about it, we talked about it last week, or was it yet, or on Friday, I
Last time.
think. Yeah, it was on Friday. Said, yeah, this thing might double. Since then, it's jumped up incredibly. Um, and there was more news that came out that more analysts have raised the price target and upgraded it and whatnot. So there's definitely pockets of the market that are doing well. Other things are kind of holding steady, and then other things are kind of dipping. Tech is there seems like to be like some kind of rotation out of really big tech into other names.
Right.
Um,
And then you have at the end of the year, a lot of there's profit taking, right? There's um, Wall Street, they want their bonuses. There's all of that, right? You're not gonna, if you're having a good year, you're gonna take a little bit off the top. So you have everything kind of coming at once.
yeah, we're
Um,
gonna head into that. So I don't think that's come yet, the profit taking,
mhm.
or even the loss harvesting and stuff like that. So I think that will also push it down probably mid December, somewhere around there. Um, so so yeah. Are the days of the new high of the all-time highs after day over? Maybe. We might have to wait till sometime to see if we get more highs. But for now, at least, I think the rate cut is off the table. If and I think other people will agree with us more and more as the days go by. So if there is a rate cut, that will definitely send prices higher. If there is not, hopefully, if everybody is on the same page, like if it's 63% chance right now and that goes up to like 70 or 80% chance that they won't cut, then if they don't cut, the market will not do like a really steady backtrack. It won't fall.
Right.
But if it does what the opposite of what everybody expects, then yes, there will be turbulence. But if nobody's expecting it, or if there's a small chance of it happening, then the market will not fall. I think we're going to be heading steady Eddie to the end of the year, which is more favorable to everything, I think. So
Hmm.
it's kind of where we're at now, I believe. Um, Let me see. If any of you guys that are watching, if you have any questions, go ahead, put them in the chat. Um, if not, then we can move over to the SmackDown update.
SmackDown. We've had a little bit more movement, of course. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
All right, let's take a look. Okay, what are we looking at?
A lot more negative numbers.
Hmm. Okay. So these numbers are lower than they were last week, right?
For
Or
sure. Mhm.
yeah. So we still
Son,
have
still holding
some.
on the lead.
Yeah, still Son is in the lead, pulled back about 20%, I think. Um, and then we have ACQ, which is kind of holding steady. And what else?
Here we go, NVIDIA here. So that'll be an interesting one, of course.
Nvidia's there, yeah. And then Parker Hannifin Connors is up at 7. So
Yeah.
that one is still steady and still making new highs, Parker Hannifin. So I guess the defense sector is still doing well. But yeah, well, we'll see what happens. We still have mm, 12 days left in the month.
Yep.
And
Plenty of
so
things can happen.
11 days, 30 days, right? So yeah, I mean, anything can happen, yeah. And we'll see what happens. But to be honest, like I don't know. I like Parker Hennepin. I like the other ones. I'd probably not go into any of those. I probably would not put money into any of those at this time.
You're not going to sink some
Um,
money in the video?
no, not today. You know, instead of playing Nvidia, I've played the Nasdaq itself. It's instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, instead of picking one name, I'll just give me all of them and we'll just play it that way. I haven't gone into specifics in tech because they're all similar to some degree, but then they're all a little bit different. So,
Makes sense. Buy it as a basket
yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right. And what else? So your trades have been doing really well in the Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix is doing really well. Market power has been really good. We were close to another market power signal the other day, but just didn't quite make it. But yeah, we had a nice win. It wasn't even a lotto win. Just was able to get a good profit off the trade and get out and
in the Phoenix.
in the Phoenix. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the Phoenix thing is like seven, eight, nine, something like that in a row,
Yeah.
which is profitable right now. So that one is doing really well. Market Power has also it's on a streak. Market Power is usually on a streak.
Yeah. A streak
It's
of some
just
sort. It depends
yeah,
on how long the streak is, right?
yeah, yeah.
We've had
Uh,
some real long ones. Some
mm-hmm.
we always talk about the 66, I think.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
just incredible, you know? I mean, how do you
So
go in the market 66 times in a row, right? And win, 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 win. It's incredible
yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm. But we're actually, if I do remember, I think this year, return wise, we've done better than that year. That was the first year we did it, but I think this year, as a just flat out returns, I think we've done better than that year. Because I think we're getting better. I think we're getting better at
I think
trading.
so, yeah. You learn some things along the way, right? How
Mm-hmm.
you would do some things, improve some things.
Yeah,
Uh,
and especially, I guess the big thing is, anybody can put it on and take it off in a winter, but when you do the adjustment, how do you get in? What time? What price? Not what time, but what price? And do you stay calm? I think that's the biggest one.
yep.
From what I've seen, it's like, okay, we've done it enough times now. It's like, okay, the confidence is there that the adjustment works. It's just a little bit sometimes hair raising. It can be scary if you haven't done it before. And
Right.
so,
And I always tell people we win so much that you have limited times where you had to adjust, right? So, yeah, there is anxiety there about how you deal with it, right? So, we teach everyone to be calm, know your plan, work the plan, and it'll work out.
yeah, I mean, I think in this is going to be 3 years almost, right? We've almost been doing it for 3 years. We have less than 10 losing trades.
Yeah. It's all how you handle those trades that go against you, right?
Yeah,
When they
yeah.
happen so frequently, right?
hmm
So,
And then we're also learning Phoenix, and Phoenix is a newer venture, and it's actually has a very good back tested record. Now that we're trading it live, we hit a rough patch in the middle there.
mhm.
But I think that it's coming out of it. It has come out of it, and it's starting to give the same results that we had in the back test.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, this is not
Yeah,
it didn't do this in
you
the back test. What's going on? But now it's like, okay, maybe it's just part of the game. Like, you have to put in enough trades to see the ups and downs. And like, okay, it had a valley and now it's out of the valley and now it's doing really good again. So,
yeah, you learn things all along the way. That's true of trading, right? You're going to see things that you wouldn't see in a back test, right? And you do it live, and you see things and how you might approach a trade a little differently than you thought at first. Yeah, that's very true. So,
hmm
but it's doing
Yep.
really well. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
The club is doing really well. People are liking it. People are excited. People are jumping up and down. Well,
Yeah.
maybe not jumping up and
No, I mean,
down.
it's very interesting. They're taking a lot of these, little tests that we've had. It tells you, things that tell you a lot about how you are as a trader, both from psychology standpoint. So it's interesting to see people take these tests and then post the results of what they found about themselves. So that's very interesting to me to
hmm
see. It's very true.
Yep. Yeah. And then so I'm still working on the content for the upper levels. And there was an exercise in there. It's about, teaching or using, not using, but like treating your trading as a business. And it's like, okay, what's the best way to, show that or have a documentation or, like a business plan. So I'm looking at two or three different ways that we could um, show that in an exercise. And I was like, man, I really wish I had this when I was trading. It's like
Yeah.
it's just like I mean, it took me years to figure this part out, It's like, but this just lays it out for you, like, okay, here, create this, do this, there's a checklist. Like, okay, which one of these are you suffering from? And then it tells you, okay, if you're suffering from this, it's because of this. And this is how you fix it in your business plan, you know? And I was like, yeah, this is
It's
really
great.
good.
That's such
This is good
valuable
stuff.
information because who teaches that, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I came about it on my own. Like if you look at one of my accounts, the largest account I have, it's broken up into different buckets, and that's exactly what we have in the exercise. Like, okay, we're going to divide this into buckets. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to allocate capital appropriately, make sure everything's diversified, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, and then you have to build in your trade plan in there. You have to build in time to actually so it's really cool because it took some of the lessons that I've had about working on your business versus in your business. You know,
Hmm.
so working in your trading is like, putting the trades on and charting and, listening to us on this call, finding out, oh, what's the market doing and what's the Fed doing and all that stuff. That's all working in the business. Then the real magic happens when you work on the business. When you turn the TV off, turn the monitor off, go away, and you actually think.
Yeah, turn the noise up.
But what do you think about? It's like, oh, I gotta make more money. I gotta make more. No, no, no. Like, there's specific stuff that there is to think about. Here, think about this, think about this, think about this. And then there's gradual improvements that you make to the way you work in trading that will make things better and have a better success rate and increase your consistency and increase your return level. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited. I really like it where we're going.
I agree. Yeah, fantastic.
Yep. So, Thanksgiving's coming up. You got any plans?
I think I think we're gonna be with my up in Mississippi with my wife's family. So looking forward to that.
Okay. All right. So last time you were with your family
Yeah, we alternate. So, I'll be up there for Thanksgiving and I'll probably be in South Carolina for see my parents for Christmas.
for
So
Christmas. Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're driving around all over the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. They're split. That's the way it is these days. The days of living real close to each other are kind of not there, so we gotta go visit. How about you?
I don't know yet. I don't
Don't know
know.
yet.
No. We had some friends, they were looking for stuff to do. Thanksgiving. They were thinking about planning something for Cancun. Because where we're at, Cancun, Mexico is like a 2 hour flight, hour and a half flight. It's not a
That's
big deal. So Mexico is pretty close. So we're like, they have all these.
they're not gonna go to Corpus Christi. Probably
No, Corpus.
a little too cold.
Well, Corpus is like an 8 hour drive.
I know, right? So
It's
it's
it's cheaper and faster to go to to Cancun. Corpus.
I'll say nicer and warmer too, probably.
Probably a little bit warmer, but then they have the all-inclusive resort, that has everything is included, all your food and whatever you want, activities, pool, kids club, all that stuff is all included, shows and stuff. But I don't think it worked out, so I don't know what we're doing.
Oh, sometimes staying home is the best too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it is, and I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the my favorite holiday because it's the only time where we actually give thanks.
Yeah, it is.
You
Yeah,
know,
it's
it's
my
like all
wife's
the
favorite as well. Yeah.
Yeah, like all the other the holidays, they have like something about it. Like Christmas has become very consumer and it's a religious thing, but even if you're not Christian, then it's about gifts and it's about, the season, but it's not really about giving thanks.
Right. There's all this anxiety that comes up with Christmas, right? People are like, did I get the right gift? And, do all this stuff. And
And there's a lot of running
uh,
around,
yeah, it's just,
and then it's like right there, and then there's New Year's right away, and
then you're exhausted by January comes around. You're like,
I gotta
but,
go back to work now.
gotta go back and make some money that I spent.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
um,
it's a lot. It's very stressful.
yeah,
And so Thanksgiving is like, you don't have to give any gifts. There's one
family.
person, the one person stressing out is, somebody, whoever's cooking, but there's that
Uh,
issue. Um, but other than that, it's just about, getting together with your family and just being thankful for what we have.
I agree. That's
There's,
my
re-
favorite too. And what's better than that?
Yeah,
right?
I mean the worst part is the travel, right? You got to go on the plane and whatnot. That's the worst part. But other than that, there's it's well, unless you have like, relatives who like to argue about politics.
It's possible, right? Of course, right? You have to, that's always out there, but I like the
Yep.
whole idea of Thanksgiving. It's nothing
Mm-hmm.
better than that. So,
Yep. So cool beans. All right. That being said, we have a call. Our next call is on Friday, and then our next call after that is on the 26th. So we will have to figure out if we're actually doing the two calls next week.
right, because that will be on
That'll be 26th is the day before Thanksgiving, and then you got the 28th after Thanksgiving.
28th. Yeah, 28th is Black Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we're probably not going to be doing those two calls next week. And then that will give us time to travel or for you to travel and for me to sit at home.
Oh, everyone needs a little break.
So cool. All right. Let's see how it goes. All
All
right.
right.
So Matt, we will see you on Friday.
I will be here.
All right,
Everyone have a
everybody.
great time.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on Friday, everybody.